disabled for nearly 4 years now.
When I first started caring for Dave, he was quite ill, in bed a lot.
I had lost most of my confidence, and I'd always been a man of rather great confidence. I'd had a lot of hobbies besides my own work, and I no longer could do them.
He loved cooking and painting and furniture restoration, and we just decided one day to do something simple, like we made some chutneys and jams and different things, and he just loved it, absolutely loved it, and it just made him feel so good that the next week when I was coming he had something else planned for us to do, and that was just the way of bringing him out of his shell, getting him back into doing things again and having some passion for life.
Slowly but very surely I was David again. Wendy and I sit out and have our morning tea and sometimes even our breakfast. It's just your environment, and I can enjoy it so much more now because I'm more positive.
When my third child was born, under the skin was forming this, it was just a circle. And that developed into an ulcer a few weeks after she was born.
So Glenys was going along looking after her leg ulcer when it erupted again, and she thought she needed support or advice.
I needed the confidence to know that what I was doing was right. So I rang the district nurses again, and they never hesitated once to come. And they have tried this new system. There's this wonderful education, it is an educational program that you receive from them. They make sure that you eat good food and look after yourself, keep active, and it really is for a person that's home in the house.
It gives that client the power, I suppose, to be their own person and look after their condition themselves.
I still have my golf friends, and we have lunches. We go out, I don't mind how often.
Saves cooking.
Yes, it does indeed.
I had a stroke in '98, got me all down my right side, and therefore I can't use my arm very much at all, and I was asleep for 3.5 months on the stroke. Then I woke up and had emphysema.
We have worked together on getting him to pay his own accounts. The accounts were actually exceeding what we could take as a staff member could take financially. Also, Ian can drive, but there are days when he can't, and to walk too far is really hard on him. So having access to paying his bills by phone has actually been a really good thing for him.
So Sue suggested this phone account, and we played around with that for a month or two. And that made that terrific, really good.
We found along the way another goal, which was meal prep.
I've done all my own cooking for years. I just wanted to change.
One of his goals was to actually have a roast. He'd organised to have a slow cooker.
They come around and, what's that? It's a cooker for my meals. Then the next couple of days she comes around with all these recipes.
And the direct care workers come in just for a short amount of time per week, organise some meals. He actually pops some in the freezer, so he's got a bit of variety, and he's very happy with it. As an assessment office, you go out and you assess people and you move them on. Now we're actually working a little bit more hand in hand with them, and that's kind of rewarding. That's, you know, that's kind of a buzz to be watching people, you know, meet their potential.
We're aiming at showing clients how to cook meals. They're all basic meals. Initially we showed them how to start chopping and preparing, but at the end of the course they were virtually cooking themselves.
Well, the cooking program was fantastic. I was sick of eating the same food all the time. So I finished up going down the shop and getting pies and pasties and hamburgers. Now I don't do it.
Being a new program, it ran quite smoothly, and I hope it does continue, because there's a lot of people that can't cook correctly. But now, because I have that excitement, I can put things together. You know, who would have thought chili con carnes and gorgeous soup recipes and full of vegetables. Full of vegetables, which my son adores. You can't go wrong. So, and on a budget.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot because it got me out of the house, you know, instead of sitting around the home all the time, you know what I mean, getting bored and depressed and things like that. It was just good to get away, you know what I mean, and everybody was very helpful and I enjoyed it.
If I was recommending this program to other organisations, I'd say to them the benefits are that it gives the clients new skills, and I think the socialisation aspect has been really great to see. It's an easy solution when you go out and assess somebody to suggest that they have Meals on Wheels. This way, the suggestion is, how about we get you involved in the cooking program and teach you some skills, and you'll be able to cook for yourself and meet some new people.
A few months ago it was reported to us that Wimala was starting to have some falls and that there was concerns about her mobility.
Only thing, I have problems with my legs. That is the only problem at the moment. And I have problems with back also.
So I organised for the physiotherapist, and we also got some care workers involved.
Nearly every Sunday or Saturday goes to the temple. She's actually a Buddhist. Now it's a lot of restrictions for her religious activities.
Using the active service approach, we were bringing different parties together to have a positive outcome for Wimala and stop her from falling, which means that you know, keeps her active in the community.
Eyes open, alive, that's grand. Feet on floor, great, I can stand. Gently loosen seized up joints. Gird the loins, open the door, peer outside.
I met Mary to discuss with her what some of her goals and ambitions are.
If I could go out and watch what everybody else is doing and talk about it, I'd fit in, but that's not my style at all.
She identified quite clearly that her love of the English language, perhaps there's more that she could participate in and more opportunities to engage in community life.
You know how I said that I like playing Scrabble and I don't now have anyone to share that with? If I could be part of a group that could spend time playing Scrabble, and also I can share all this kind of stuff with, that would cover the two.
And from our conversation together to try and identify what were some of the difficulties she was facing and perhaps what expertise could we draw on to support her to reach those goals. And for us that was dietitian, to perhaps sustain her a bit more and give us some energy to achieve some of the goals. And the other one was to look at some transfers in and out of a car and onto a bus to make sure that we can get to the places we need to go to.
This is a new departure for me. I haven't done this all my life.
If you get closed into your medical model paradigm, which I think as a HAC assessment officer with the forms that we fill in, you can be fairly bound by them at times. Sometimes it's good to just put those aside for a little bit and develop a relationship a little bit more.
And life is full of wonder and great high hope for the weary old souls with their wheelies and a joke. This soul is glad to be alive. P.S. Oh dear, I forgot my hair's falling out. That's it.
The model and the training that we've had, I believe, has helped me anyway to focus my thinking a bit more. It's probably formalised it more for us now. We've given it a label and we can all say, okay, we're now moving in the same direction. So I think that's a good thing.
The active service model has actually given us a lot more freedom to do a lot more with our clients.
We sort of had permission perhaps to do things a little bit differently to what we would normally have done, which has been great.
I've had some really good outcomes with other clients, some great success stories.
It's a nice shift. It's more individual and it's more personal, a bit more real for people.
The message that I would say is be open, be open-minded. Think outside the box.